It all began when head coach Kevin Stefanski tried to explain why Shedeur Sanders wasn't getting first-team reps. His answer sounded simple enough on the surface. Gabriel, being a rookie, supposedly needed most of the reps. But that explanation immediately set off alarms. Fans couldn't understand how Shedeur, who's just as new to the league and arguably more prepared for the spotlight, was being sidelined while Gabriel was given free rein to develop. The excuse didn't hold up, and instead of calming the chaos, it made the situation worse. Then came Tommy Rees, the Browns' offensive coordinator, who stepped in front of reporters the very next day and turned up the heat even more. His tone wasn't angry, but it carried that sharp edge of frustration, the kind that comes from knowing you're stuck trying to defend a decision that doesn't make sense. When reporters asked about Gabriel's performance, Rees couldn't have been more glowing. He praised Dylan's poise, his decision-making, his ability to manage the game under pressure, his leadership, and even his ball security in tough weather conditions. The compliments rolled out one after another, painting Gabriel as the picture of composure and growth. But the moment Shedeur's name came up, the tone shifted. Gone were the glowing remarks and confident praise. Instead, Rees started using vague, evasive language and talking about unique challenges, limited reps, and the need to be creative in developing both rookies. To fans, that sounded like corporate talk, for one thing. Shedeur isn't getting on the field anytime soon. And if that wasn't clear enough, Rees confirmed it indirectly when he mentioned the team was giving Shedeur more walk-through reps. In NFL terms, that's practically meaningless. It's like telling someone they're training for a marathon by jogging in place. The reaction was immediate and explosive. Fans flooded social media with frustration, accusing the coaching staff of blatant favoritism. After all, both quarterbacks are rookies. How can one justify giving rookie priority to only one of them? The logic fell apart instantly, and people started asking what was really going on behind the scenes. Inside the locker room, players saw it too. They noticed Gabriel dominating first-team snaps while Shedeur watched from the sidelines, and it didn't take long before quiet frustration started to grow among teammates who respected Shedeur's talent and work ethic. To make matters worse, Rees's body language during the press conference spoke volumes. He didn't look like a coach confidently standing behind a plan. He looked like a man trying to manage damage control. When a reporter pressed him about how Shedeur was being prepared without reps, Rees leaned on the same line. "We've got to be creative." That phrase repeated multiple times throughout the conference, and each time it sounded less convincing. You could feel the tension in every sentence, the hesitation, the uncertainty, and the growing awareness that the Browns' quarterback situation was slipping into chaos. Cleveland fans know this story all too well. It's the same pattern that's haunted the franchise for years. Baker Mayfield drama, Odell Beckham Jr. drama, Deshaun Watson drama. Now, it's Shedeur Sanders' turn to be caught in the middle of another Browns controversy. And this time, the spotlight is blinding. Shedeur isn't just another player fighting for a roster spot. He's a national figure, one of the biggest college stars in recent memory, the son of Shedeur Sanders, and a player whose name alone brings cameras and sponsors to the table. The idea that someone like him can't even get a single first-team rep doesn't just look questionable, it looks intentional. Rees tried to play diplomat at times, saying both players were mentally prepared and that the staff was using all their resources to develop them. He even mentioned that Deshaun Watson and veteran backup Bailey were helping mentor the young QBs, guiding them through the ups and downs of adjusting to the NFL. But underneath that polished answer was a much more uncomfortable truth. Advice only goes so far. Shedeur doesn't need lectures or mentorship, he needs real game reps. Without that, he's just watching his career stall before it even starts. When Rees was pressed again about what specific methods they were using to keep Shedeur ready, he dodged. "I'd rather keep those in-house," he said. That kind of secrecy only added more fuel to the fire. If there was a real plan in place, there'd be no reason to hide it. But instead, it sounded like the coaches were scrambling, improvising excuses to justify an imbalance that everyone could see. The Browns staff insists they're all hands on deck. But the reality is that this team is now walking a tightrope between developing two promising players and accidentally destroying one's confidence in the process, behind closed doors. Sources claim that Shedeur's teammates have started quietly voicing frustration too. Some believe the team's handling of the situation is undermining their credibility. They know Shedeur's talent. They've seen his accuracy, his leadership, and his ability to command attention. They also know what he brings to the franchise beyond the field: the excitement, the exposure, the energy. To bench a player like that in favor of a quieter, less marketable rookie feels less like football strategy and more like internal politics. And if that's true, Cleveland might be repeating history. This franchise has long been criticized for mismanaging talent, turning promising stars into controversies instead of championships. From Baker Mayfield's turbulent exit to the OBJ fallout, every star who's brought personality and flair into this locker room has eventually clashed with the organization's leadership. And if things keep heading this way, Shedeur might be next. The irony is that Shedeur Sanders doesn't seem bothered. He's been here before, the doubted underdog, the one carrying his father's legacy while carving out his own. His calm demeanor and quiet professionalism are making the Browns' excuses look even worse. While fans rage online, Shedeur keeps showing up, doing his job, and refusing to feed the fire. But the tension keeps growing, and with every vague explanation from the coaching staff, that locker room feels closer to boiling over. Even Tommy Rees knows this setup isn't sustainable. He admitted it's rare to have two rookie quarterbacks developing at once, and that might be the understatement of the year. It's not rare, it's nearly impossible. Two young QBs, both with something to prove, both needing the same snaps and both being told to be patient, that's a recipe for chaos. And in Cleveland, chaos is exactly what's brewing. The truth is simple. You can't keep a player like Shedeur Sanders in the shadows. Not for long. The fans won't allow it, the media won't ignore it, and the locker room won't stay quiet forever. Every week that passes without him getting a real chance only strengthens the narrative that this coaching staff is mishandling one of the most promising young talents in the league. Now, as Cleveland tries to spin this story into something resembling control, the reality is that their quarterback room is divided, their coaches are under scrutiny, and their fan base is running out of patience. The world is watching, and the Browns once again find themselves not in the headlines for winning, but for imploding. So what do you think? Is Shedeur Sanders being treated unfairly, or is this just another chapter in Cleveland's never-ending quarterback saga? Should the Browns give him the reins before the tension gets worse, or are they protecting him from unnecessary pressure? Drop your thoughts below. And if you love diving deep into the drama behind the game, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next big story unraveling in Cleveland.